Hi there, today we're unboxing an all-in-one wireless CCTV system. So this particular one is by HomeGuard, and details in the description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. So let's take a quick look around the packaging. So it comes in a nice big glossy box with a picture of the actual system. The system itself comes with a 12-inch viewing screen and 4 wireless cameras as well. Now in terms of range, you've got a 30-meter night vision range, and actual wireless range on the cameras they're saying is up to 900 meters. Now the system itself, they're saying, comes with a 1 terabyte surveillance hard drive by Seagate. Couple of things to mention at the bottom. So they're saying the cameras have a 960p HD resolution, motion detection, they're waterproof, night vision and remote viewing is possible on these. Okay, so let's turn it around, see what you have on the side. Already mentioning what I've said already, true plug and play, they're saying. Okay, and easy view and playback on mobiles. Okay, some specification details here. If I bring it in close so you can have a brief look at that, and just some pictures. Okay, come around here and just some pictures here as well. Okay, so let's open it up and see what you get in the packaging. Okay, so I've laid out all the items you get in the packaging, so let me quickly go through them one by one. So initially you get a quick connection guide. So if I bring that closer, just to give you an idea, and just shows how things get connected to the actual system. And if I open it up, it just shows the quick mobile guide as well, how to get it connecting to your phone, and nothing else on the other side. Okay, next you've got some stickers. So these are warning stickers you can put up on a window, and I'll just read it backwards. So protected by HomeGuard 24-hour video surveillance. So you get 4 of these. Okay, next you've got a CD, and this contains some software and quick start guides on there. Okay, next you've got wireless HD 960p camera kit instruction manual. And if I open that up, just a brief introduction to it, and some FAQ details and warranty and support. Next, you've got a customer warranty card. So just warranty details you need to fill in and then obviously send off. Okay, next you've got quick start guide. If I briefly go through there, all in English, like all the other bits and pieces, and details on the system. Okay, looks pretty straightforward. Next, we've got the actual screen. See if I come in close to a 12-inch screen here, you've got a QR code underneath here for connecting to it via the mobile app. Obviously some branding there, and just to note the edges of the actual screen. So it comes to there, so it doesn't come right to the edge. You can tell that straight away. A bit bubbly, I've not actually done anything. This is how it came straight out of the box. And connect in 3 easy steps with homeguardlink app. So just some details there. Okay, if I flip it around and if I just bring that up, so obviously that's the stand. It's got a little bit of rubber underneath it, obviously to keep it secure on a table. You've got a point here for a Wi-Fi aerial, and the aerial that comes with it, which is this, just screw straight onto it. And the way you identify this from the others is slightly bigger in size. So if I bring in one of the other aerials for the camera, it's just slightly thicker, as you can see. And if I come in properly, there you go, slightly taller as well. Okay, next on the actual screen itself, you've got a LAN port, you get a USB slot, and you've got the actual power point. It takes 12 volts in there via a DC connection. You've got a screen on-off connection there, button, so you can turn it on and off, and a slot here, push down to open. Okay, so just to show the hard disk, so there it is, and if I come in at this angle, you can just see it past the actual stand. Yeah, so I'll lift that up, and there you go, it's just there. So it's a 2.5-inch hard disk, the sort of hard disks you'd use in a laptop. Put that back on. So quite compact, and if you compare it to a normal NVR, it actually feels very light in comparison. Obviously it's taken a smaller hard disk, so that weight's obviously reduced straight away, and plus you've got the advantage of the screen as well. So build quality wise, it seems good. Reasonably strong plastic all the way round. and the aerial's quite firm on there as well. And if I put it down, you can just see it does grip to the floor with the rubber underneath it. Okay, then you've got the power adapter for it. And if I come around here just to show, I can get a good shot of that. 12 volts, 2 amps. Got an Ethernet cable here, and that's 1 meter in length. Build quality seems fine on there. And it's got the little rubber clip here, obviously, make it easier just to disconnect it. Okay. Next, you've got a mouse, very light, standard sort of CCTV mouse, matte finish on the top and glossy down below, and again, very light. Cable quality seems reasonable, I'd say, nothing more than that. And mouse has the button and obviously scroll on there as well. Cable length for the mouse, and that cable is actually 90 centimeters. Together with that, you've got 4 packs for fixtures, obviously for attaching the cameras to a wall, and an Allen key in there as well to be able to adjust it. And each of the cameras come with a power adapter, and I'll come in close to that, saying, if I can give a good angle on that, 12 volts, 1 amp on there. And then obviously the aerial for each of the cameras, so 4 cameras in total. Okay, so just to know about the actual power adapters, the 4 of them for the camera and the 1 for the screen, the cable length on these is 1.1 meters. Okay, so let's look at a camera next. So, cable length on the actual camera, it's 30 centimeters from here to here, and it's 17 from there to there. So in total, you've got 47 centimeters. Design wise, very nice strong finish to this, all metal all the way around. Even these bits all metal, so it's nice build quality. Foam underneath, obviously for installation purposes, so when you install it, you'd have the cable either going to a soffit or through a wall, and obviously you'd have to put all this through, or a lot of installers, what they do, they get a plastic waterproof box and obviously have the cable going through the side here and then feed the cables into that box to obviously to keep these watertight. Okay, the cables themselves, obviously you've got an Ethernet point on one and you've got one for the power adapter. Okay, and size wise, the camera is nice and compact. So if I come in here, we're saying around just a little bit over 9 centimeters just here. And if I look underneath here without the top cover bit, we're saying around just under 8 centimeters. And in total, we're getting around 18 centimeters length. Okay, and obviously this is adjustable on there, and that's what you use your Allen key for. So you can turn it, lock it into position, and you can twist it as well. So if I can show that as well. And once you've got it in the correct position, you want just tighten the Allen keys and that's it. The screws are actually holding it in position. You've got the LEDs there and the lens, and it sounds like glass on there. And on the lens itself, it sounds like glass. So yeah, nice compact design, which I like. And the fact the build quality seems very good on this. Okay, so the next thing to show is the aerial going on there, the Wi-Fi aerial. So if I screw that on, and it's as simple as that, and then you can just position it how you want, like so, depending on how you position it. Okay, so let's make a start at setting up this system. So very straightforward. Let's put the antenna on the actual screen. Taking it off just to show it all going on at the same time. So that's quite straightforward. Just screw it straight onto the point here. So it's fairly firm, and then you can just push it up. Okay, next we'll plug the power in, so the DC connector. And just to note, obviously the adapter is very different from the others in terms of size. So that's a good way of highlighting it. You've got an Ethernet port on there. So I've got my connection to my router just here, and I'll plug that in. And next, the mouse. So the mouse just plugs into the USB port there. There you go, that's in. So that's all the connection points on the screen. The next is the actual camera. So we'll just unwind this and plug in the DC adapter onto this one. like so, and then take one of the antennas for Wi-Fi and just plug it in on top of here. So it just screws straight on, and that's it. So let me screw in and plug in the other cameras as well. Okay, so now everything's connected. Let's plug it all in. So this is the plug for the actual NVR, which is there with the screen. So I'll plug that in first. Then all the cameras one by one. There you go. It's all plugged in now. And if I adjust the screen slightly, just give you an idea of what appears on first start. So one of the things they recommend, obviously this isn't just a screen, this is the NVR, so network video recorder, and this is what connects to all the cameras. So what they suggest is keep this central in your property, so it gives ample sort of coverage for the cameras. So let's see what happens when it first starts up. So you go, it's turning on. You can see 4 windows for the cameras, and wow, okay, it's connected straight away. Doesn't look like there's anything to do. So I've not plugged it in at all so far. This is the first time I've connected it, and very impressive. It's like nothing to do really. Okay, so it's saying hard disks are not found, so we'll have a look at that in a bit. So, and there's an OK button, so if we just click OK. Okay, asking for a username and password. So the password is highlighted, the default one on here. So it's 123456. So let me use the mouse and select. Okay, so now it's suggesting install the actual phone client on there. So let me move on to that next. Okay, so as the hard disk wasn't being detected, what I thought I'd do is try to pull it out. So you can see a few marks on there. I actually got some pliers in there and pulled it out. There was no other way of getting it out. I tried from there and even trying to get my fingers in, but the gap was just too tight. Now, having taken it out, what I can see, it's not really easy to show on camera. The connection point was slightly lower. I was looking in there while this was in there, and it had completely missed the connection point. So when they actually fitted it, they didn't fit it correctly. So now, if I put it in, there you go, and it sticks out. So it's convenient to pull out now. So there you go. So that's a normal way, really, it should be installed. Just to note, there is a little bit of flex in there. That should have been slightly tighter, just to give a nice feel to it. So no biggie though, it actually gives that more space to pull it out. Okay, so let's put the cover back on and get this connected up and see how it works with the hard disk. Okay, so with the hard disk correctly installed now, I'm just powering it on and let's see what happens. Okay, so now it's saying hard disks haven't been formatted, so that looks promising. Okay, click OK to that. And if I now go to video playback, it's asking for passwords, so let me type that in. The default is 123456. Hard disks haven't been formatted again. And system setup, hard disk setup, that's better. So you can see it, 1 terabyte disk on there, unformatted. If I tick it and click format now, and yes to that, just give it a moment. Okay, so there you go. Format succeeded. Okay to that. Now let's go back. Okay, so next let me go through the options available. So if I right click, you can see split screen. So if I click on that, you've got ×1 view or ×4 view. If I click on the ×1 view, you can select a camera and then it gives you a full screen image. If I double click, it comes out back into the full screen mode. If I right click, go to video manage, displays the cameras and their IP addresses. So these IP addresses are actually given out by the NVR, which is this. And we can come out, and if I right click again, we can go to system setup. Now these are all the sort of nitty-gritty details in there. So within general setup, you have these options. So general setup, auto logout, key buzzer, language, keypad type, remote ID, boot wizard, show cloud ID when preview, show time when preview, auto turn off screen, And if I go on to the next one, time setup, you can adjust that. Screen setup, so you can adjust that as well. Okay, hard disk setup, and now the hard disk's in there, so you can see it, and you can format it if you wanted to again, or you can replace as well if you needed to. Auto delete old files, so you can disable that and put a custom in. So this will auto overwrite any old files, so you'll have at least 30 days. If it fills up, it will just start auto deleting. So just keep that in mind. So older footage will be deleted. Okay, error setup. So if there are errors, it will inform you. So you can set it to be an alarm, a buzzer, or email notification. Let me click email. Okay, maybe I need to click enable, and then then you can click enable. Okay, so that's the way it works. Setup, so record setup, so record plan. So I've selected everything. By default it was just time, so you can set it up for each camera, so you could have it continually recording, or if there's motion detection as well, or if there's an alarm. Now the alarm, if I go into alarm setup here, you can add in different devices. Nothing, I'm not sure if there are ones available for this, but there's nothing coming in the package. Okay, zone setup. So for the alarm footage, you can say a certain zone on a certain day. Okay, next let's move on to network setup. So you've got network setup showing the IP address, cloud ID, MAC address. If I go to DDNS, okay, so you can have that set up as well. PPP, OE, and you can enable that. 3G, I'm not sure how that would kick in. You probably need a module for that. So if you've got the module, but not sure if it's available for this one, not seeing any details regarding it. Email setup, so you can set up the system to be able to send emails out, and Wi-Fi setup. So okay, this is the Wi-Fi version, and these are the MAC addresses of each of the cameras. Okay, no need to fiddle around with these settings. Okay, next let's go to channel setup. Okay, encode setup, so details there about the encoding. You can't change anything, I did have a look. Nothing can be amended. Okay, PTZ setup, does it apply for our situation? Channel OSD, that's the writing you see in the screen. Okay, video detection. Okay, so if there's motion detected, then you can get it to, for instance, alarm, buzzer, email notice, or app alarm. So let's go for app alarm and buzzer for this one. Hit apply. Okay, next you've got bit rate, showing the bit rate from each of the cameras. Okay, channel detail, resolution you're getting in the software versions of each of the cameras. IP camera. Okay, fixed mode. And let's move on to system admin. So you've got system version, so model name, serial number, hardware version, etc. Okay, system log, if I go in there and just show all the log, if I search, there you go, now it's opened and shown everything. Okay, user, there's only one user, admin, system upgrade, so if you wanted to upgrade the system, if you had a firmware version, system maintenance, you can schedule it on for certain days. So this is set for every Monday around 2 o'clock. Okay, factory settings, looks like to revert back to factory settings. IPC maintenance, so this is if you wanted to update the firmware on the cameras. Takes a few seconds to appear, so you can grab the firmware from a USB storage device. So interesting, the actual USB connectivity only has one USB connection, so to connect another one you'd probably need a hub to connect into it, so you could plug in the mouse and another device. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So video playback, so now the hard disk's in, you can see the recordings that have come. So time is the continuous recording, and then in there you can see green lines, that's where motion occurred. Yeah, and if I go over here, you can go to the bit where motion has happened. Oh, there you go, hand movement there, that gave it away. Okay, next we've got video backup. Again, like I said, you'd probably need a hub to be connected onto the back of it, the USB hub, and connect your hard disk and your mouse at the same time to enable you to go through this. Okay, next you've got color adjust, so you can adjust the colors, so hue, brightness, saturation and contrast on the screen. Okay, next coming down, you've got PTZ control. So this isn't PTZ, but it's available if you did have a PTZ camera. Manual record, so you can set it to manual record on some of the cameras or on all. Okay, and volume doesn't apply for this. Obviously there's no microphone on the cameras. Next you've got setup wizard, so you can go through the setup wizard again if you wanted to. And if I go to fast network, okay, so this is to set up the app. So Cloud ID is just being shown there. Okay, let's come out of that. Next you've got Wi-Fi add. So this is to sort of scan for more cameras. Quit out of that. So as far as I'm aware, you can only have 4 cameras on this system. Don't see any ability to add in more. Obviously you can add them, but I'm just wondering what you'd see. I don't have any extras to add on to this, but it'd be interesting to see how it behaves. Okay, next you've got exit system, and then you've got log out, reboot, close, screen output and shutdown. So that's it, simple as that. That's all the options available on the system. Okay, so let's make a start at setting up the app. So we've got a QR code here for the actual app, and I've got my Android phone here with the QR reader. So if I start that up and then we just scan in the code, so I'll just come in close here. And there you go. So the link that's shown is a link on the Play Store. So now if I click that, it should start the Play Store and there's the app. So HomeGuard link. So you can either go via the QR code or you can just type that in directly into Google Play. So let me click install. Let's give it a moment. Okay, so now the app's installed. Let me click open. Okay, so it needs access to the local storage, so we'll allow that. And next we need to register an account. So let me do that off camera. Okay, so I've registered my account, and straight away, once it's logged in, this is what you're presented with. So it needs access to record audio, we'll allow, and that's it. Okay, so next let's click the plus icon here, and it says add wireless HD system. We'll click on that, and it needs the Cloud ID. So Cloud ID is actually just behind this piece of paper which I've covered up. So let me scan that in off camera. So there's a scanning button just here. If I press that, and that's turned on the QR reader. So let me do that off camera now. Okay, so I've scanned in the Cloud ID, and next it's asking for a name of the device, and I'll just call it CCTV. And it's asking for password, so that's the default password it's given at the beginning, and we'll just click complete. And there you go, add was successful, and there you go. Okay, now if I click play, give it a moment, just saying loading. Okay, so what I discovered was the actual Ethernet cable I plugged into the back of the NVR was slightly loose. So I pushed that in, and that's helped things along dramatically. So it goes in and the cameras are instantly viewable. Next, let's move one of the cameras and just show what the lag's like on there. So you get about a second's worth of lag if you look. And obviously that's due to the cloud-based login. You're not actually going via your network. You're going via the cloud, and then it's coming back in and allowing you to view it. Okay, so let me go through the options you have available on this. So let's start in the top corner here. So you've got a backup option, and you can select a channel. Obviously it's showing 5, but you've only got 4 cameras here. So you can select a channel and then give a time range and then back it up. So if I go back from there, you've got a range here. So it's showing the Wi-Fi range and the speed on the cameras. And next, if I click here, you've got the aspect ratio 4:3 or 16:9. So 4:3 is like a standard normal vision, and the next one is widescreen. And if I go to the next one, that moves the picture to high definition, so HD on that. Next, you've got speaker volume, so you can listen in, but there's no microphone on these cameras, so obviously there's no point using that. Next, you've got a full screen option. So if I click that, and we just flip our phone around just to show. So number of options here as well. So if I click here, you've got preset. That's more for PTZ cameras where you want to preset a certain location and then move it into another location, so you can have a number of those, but doesn't apply here. Then you've got playback. So there's no recordings at the moment, hence why you're seeing that. Let's come out of there, go back in. Okay, next we've got the HD and standard definition button here. Let's come in close on one of them just to show the picture difference. So that's standard definition, and if I click again, it just goes slightly sharper, so much clearer than the standard one. Then you've got this button. If I click it, it started a record. If I press that again, the recording's finished. If I click on that, does a screenshot. Okay, then that comes out of full screen. Let's go back into the full screen. Then you've got a zoom option. Clicking that does nothing. Oh, I've double clicked it, so it seems to have gone into the mode where you can see the multiple cameras. Focus doesn't do anything either. So obviously these are options for the PTZ, and the actual arrows here are PTZ control related as well. Okay, so that's that view. So if I now come out, go back into this view and come down here, so if I select this, you can have a view where you can see more cameras. Doesn't apply in this instance. Again, it's only for 4 cameras, this system, which I've mentioned a number of times. So best just to keep it on that one. No point showing something that you've not got. Then you've got your PTZ controls. Doesn't apply in this instance, so let's come out. Screenshot button and recording button as before, and playback as well. And that's it. That's all the options you have. So if we come back from there, see what else you have available. So got options here, screenshot and recording, and that will be the recordings I've taken and the screenshots. Let's play it. Okay, that's that one. And let's come out. There's the picture. And let's go back again. Look on there. Edit. So you can edit the name of the camera and password, for instance. And next thing is delete. And that's it. That's all the options you have available. Okay, so since I've enabled on the system the notification for motion detection, so in theory we should hear a buzzer and a notification on the app. So if I move my hand here, there you go. That's the buzzing noise you get as soon as there's any motion detected. And if we go back on the app and click on info, give it a moment. There you go. There's the motion that's been detected. So what I noticed with the app, you don't get a push notification. So with a lot of systems, you get a push notification pushed to the actual app, and you will see a notification appear. But you're not seeing this. You actually have to go in there and you can see the alarm. Or you'll see the actual icon here with a number there to say the number of motions detected. So good for functionality in one respect, but if you're after something that will send you a push notification, this isn't for you. But nevertheless, works well and can notify you. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show is the remote connectivity. So I'm on my Wi-Fi at the moment. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi connection. Let's give it a moment to connect to 4G. And it's connected now, and the CCTV kit is showing online. So let's click play, and it's saying it's mobile network currently. Are you sure you want to continue playing? So that obviously avoids you risking using your data if you have a data allowance. Let's click continue, and there you go. Connected straight away. Let's go onto a screen, and there you go, just to show. So easily connects remotely without opening any ports on your router, as it uses cloud-based connectivity. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this all-in-one wireless CCTV kit by HomeGuard. Excellent product, I have to admit. An NVR with a screen actually on there. Takes small hard disk, 2.5-inch hard disk, so you could replace it if you want to. Comes with a 1 terabyte disk. Footage wise, it will probably last you, if you had it recording continuously on all 4 cameras, around 2 weeks, you'd say. In terms of picture quality, it's 960p, and picture quality does seem quite good on there. Works quite well with your app as well. So you've got an app on your Android phone. If you connect to it, you can see and stream pictures to it live. You can work remotely as well, so you can connect via your data connection on your phone and connect to it. One of the things to keep in mind, because it is an all-in-one system, if the screen goes, you probably have to replace the whole unit. I don't think you'd be able to just get away with just leaving it like that if you wanted the functionality. Then there's no other ports to connect a separate screen, which is fair enough. It is coming as an all-in-one system. The other thing to mention is the fact that there's only one USB port, which is not really a big deal. But if you are someone who wants to back up the footage onto a separate device, like a USB key or a USB hard disk, you'd have to get a small hub, obviously plug the mouse straight into that together with your hard disk, and then you can transfer the data off there. But again, it's not really a big thing. Cameras were simple to set up as well. I have to admit, I was quite shocked there. You just plugged it in and there you go. It works straight away. So there you go. I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details in the description below. Thanks for viewing, and don't forget to like and subscribe.